Welcome to Creative Tien channel. Today I'm going to machine knit the loop stitch or the double loop stitch. The loop stitch creates a very long loop, so it's a very strong texture and it can be part of the vest or sweaters or any accessories. And I'm using my Knit Picks stitchy yarn again. It's 100% cotton because I try to make a square, so it can also be used as stitch clothes. So I start with 20 stitches. If you want bigger square, you can have more stitches. And I'm going to start with 2 rows of plain stitches. So I'm just starting with E-wrap and we'll knit 2 rows. And I'm using tension 9, the highest tension. So knit 2 rows. And I will hang the weight. Now we can start the loop stitch. And we have to hand knit this row because we have to create loop for every stitch. And I'm starting from the right side. And there are many different ways to do the loop stitch. And I find the easiest one is to just use your finger. Just wrap it around your finger. And I use my left index finger and have the yarn, the working yarn below it, and wrap twice. So I have 2 stitches on my finger. And I will place those 2 stitches to the hook. And you can adjust how big you want the loops to be. And use your finger as a guide. So there will be 2 strands of yarns in the hook. And make sure the original yarn is behind the hook. And we'll just knit back. And now we will knit one more time. We'll just push the needle out so the yarn is behind the latch, and place a new yarn in the hook and knit back. So basically we knit twice for each stitch. This way it will be very secure. And the reason I use 2 instead of 1 loop is that this creates a stronger texture, and also it will make it more secure. I find when I just use 1 loop, it can fall apart easily. So I'm going to stick with 2 loops. Push it out, use your finger as a guide, have the working yarn below and wrap twice. And then place those 2 strands of yarn in the hook and knit back. And this is the time you can adjust the size of the loop by pushing the yarn a little bit, and also with your right finger to adjust the size. Now we push the needle out again and just knit one more time. So there will be 2 strands of yarns behind the latch and 1 in the latch, and knit back. So the second stitch is done, and we just continue doing the same for every stitch. Push it out and make 2 loops and place it in the hook, knit back, and then push out again. Knit one more time. And it might be easier for you to take the yarn off the carriage. So we'll keep going. 1, 2 loops. Knit back. Push out. Knit one more time. The next one. 2 loops. Knit back. Need one more time. This can be a little bit time consuming, but after a little practice, it's pretty automatic. Now we finished the first row of the loop stitch. We have the yarn on the left side, so we have to move my carriage, press the top and lift up and place on the left side. And just place a yarn back to the carriage and we can knit one row. And it's probably a good idea to move your weight up because we have so many loops here. I don't want it to get tangled. Knit one row. And we'll start knitting from the right side again. Take the yarn off the carriage, push the yarn out, wrap 2 times, and place it back to the latch and knit back. And then knit one more time. Now this stitch is done, and we'll just keep repeating that. And here is another way to wrap the yarn faster. Instead of wrapping on the finger and transfer to the latch, we can wrap directly on the latch. Just place the finger close to the latch and we wrap, including the finger and the latch, the needle. Now we have 2 yarns there in the hook. We will knit it back. And push the needle out again. And we'll knit one more time. That can save a little time. So we can do it this way. Knit back. Knit one more time. Place the yarn in the hook. That will save 1 step. When you are done with all the loops, you can knit one more plain row. I'll move the carriage to the correct side and knit one row. Now you can see all the textured loops. And then just bind off and take it off the machine. That's our loop stitch. We look at the back side. And for each loop, you can cut it open, so it will be a different texture. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and happy knitting.